Six, five.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to another episode of Ways. My name's Mohammed here with Osama. Thank you guys for listening to us so much. If you want to follow us at Ways 2.0. You can follow Osama at Kusa3. You can follow myself at Muhammad.global. New episodes every Wednesday. Where to listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Anchor, and other various platforms. We have a special guest today. Osama, who do you have on today for today's episode?
We have Ameerah, and I want to give a little backstory in terms of I guess just got introduced to her. So I was on TikTok, and I really don't go on TikTok as much, but when I do, I'm just like I want to go enjoy the vibe and get a lot. Sorry, okay, but not a lot, bro, because TikTok takes. Hold on, first of all, stop calling the cap, bro. Stop exposing me out here. Anyways, the point is, we're talking about Ameerah and how amazing of an artist she is. I go on her, like she pops up on my FYP page, FU, whatever. Anyways, my For You page, and I see her For You page, and anyways, I go and I'm like, she's talking about her single Unforgettable, and I'm like, yeah, I just want to hear the single, and I love the meaning behind it. Obviously, you guys will hear more about that, and two, just her voice is like outstanding. It's amazing, and I started hearing more songs about her. So then I actually went to hit her up, and then I asked one of my friends like one of our mutual friends who knew her. We for the past I want to say couple of weeks we've been talking in terms of like finding the right date, and I'm glad that she's actually here. So Ameerah, welcome.
What up? What up? Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, why do you and introduce
You
yourself
are
and
on
tell
TikTok, man. What are you talking about? Can't be like
bro?
you're on
Look,
TikTok.
Yeah.
follow my TikTok, Instagram, every socials, Spotify users, Apple
Yes.
Podcast users, not podcast.
Hell yeah.
Sorry. So where can they find you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, what's up, guys? My name is Ameerah. Don't mind me. I kind of woke up like 30 minutes ago for this. um, you guys could follow me at Rated Ameerah. So that's Rated Ameerah, Ameerah. And I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. Where else am I on? I'm on Twitter. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook for your moms if your moms are on Facebook. y'all can hit me up. I'm here.
Oh,
And
that's
also
funny.
aunties and
You're gonna
uncles
see
on
you're gonna
WhatsApp.
see a lot of
All
friend
right.
requests.
Lots of
You're gonna
lots
see
of mothers following me. Yes,
you're
I
gonna see
love
a lot of
it.
I love your
Hey,
music. My son listens to
my
you.
music has no age, no age, bro. Anyone can listen to it.
That's so funny.
That's jokes. So guys, off camera we're kind of talking about just like music in general, and like Amir was kind of sharing some personal stuff. So I guess Mo, with the first question, you want to start it off, buddy? Even though you're picking, I can't even see you, buddy. That's all I'm gonna say.
You can see me, all right? Don't worry.
No, I don't think Amir can see you. I don't think I can see you.
As
A
far as
little
my first,
pixelated. It's all good.
as far as my first question for you, I definitely want to ask. Obviously, people talk about like, what's your favorite song as an artist? And I like you've always said, like, it's hard to pick that favorite song because it's like a child for you, right? It has that certain memory and stuff. But
Hmm.
even though it's hard to pick your favorite song, do you feel as if you made your best song yet?
Oh wow. That's a question that I don't think anyone has ever asked me before.
Welcome to
Have I
Waves.
made my best song yet? You know what? I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna say no because for me, I feel like every session, every song that I make just gets better than the next because I'm growing as an artist, you know? I'm learning new information on a daily basis. I'm learning how to just really strengthen my craft on a daily basis. So for me to say that I've already made my best song, only being 2 years in the game, I feel like I'd be like holding myself back. I think I still have like something up my sleeve that has to still come. Like I haven't made my best song yet, and I think for me that's like super exciting because it's like shit, like that's gonna happen, and yeah, I'm excited. I think I've made some really dope music though so far, but not my best songs.
That's dope. That's dope. But the thing is, when you made that best song, do you think you'll have it confirmed based on like the numbers, like it might go number one on the tracks or stuff, or do you feel personally like you know what, this is my best song?
I think it's more personal, to be honest with you. I think obviously like numbers and stuff play a big role in like determining the success, quote unquote, of your song. That's just the reality of this industry, right? But I think for me, it's definitely more of a personal feeling. Did I articulate my message the way I wanted to? Am I able to relate to my fans on a deep level? For me, like those are the questions that I look at and I ask myself, when I do make music. So I definitely have made some really great tracks. Like one of my favorite tracks, I think, is definitely Toxic Love. And the reason why it's one of my favorites is because of the meaning behind it. It has a very strong meaning. It's written about like a very strong woman in my life. And, that's something very personal to me. So I would say I'm really proud of that because I feel like it has a lot of relatability throughout, but it's personal to me. And I was able to express myself the way I wanted.
That's amazing. Another question I have for you is, obviously as an artist, you're so excited in the beginning, like I'm gonna make music, I'm gonna put myself out there, I'm gonna shoot videos, meet different musicians. Um,
Yeah.
Obviously as an artist in the beginning in the studio, it's one of those things. It's a totally different world. You have no idea what to do, who to talk to, and obviously in the beginning you're paying per hour for a session and everything. And a lot of artists might take advantage and might not do the right thing, so they might pick up some bad habits, and by the time they do get on, they don't know how to have the etiquette in the studio as far as songwriting, listening to working with your engineer, listening to the right beat, because obviously everything is timed, so you want to make sure you get the best out of each and every session. How has your process changed from as opposed to now in the studio and within the past 2 years?
This guy stole my question.
Yeah. Well,
Twins, by the way. So
y'all have telepathy, so it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I think Osama sent like a signal to you, Mo, and then he was just like, "All right, yo, ask this question."
no,
um, yeah. So that's a dope question. How has my recording process changed over the past 2 years? Well, I think to start off, I'm a new artist, I would say. In terms of a singer, that's something I've been doing my whole life. Definitely not a new singer. But stepping into this, industry, I'm definitely a little bit new. I'm upcoming. And when I first started off, I would say I did lack a little bit of knowledge on, how to work my way around a studio. I didn't necessarily know like the terminology that you would use when you're speaking to an engineer. Didn't really know exactly the process sometimes behind the scenes of like how a song was developed, right? These are things that you learn kind of as you go. And I think for me, the biggest thing was learning how to communicate in a studio. I think that's really where I saw the development and the growth. I like to be involved in all parts of my music. I want to be involved in the songwriting. I want to be involved in helping with the musical structure. But being able to articulate those points is also super important. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like, now when I'm in a studio, I have a level of confidence that I didn't have maybe 2 years ago because I actually know what I'm saying. I know what I'm doing. I know how to interact. I've been taking vocal lessons just recently, like for the first time, really. And having vocal lessons has made me very confident in the studio. Like I'm able to identify notes. I'm able to build more in my song, explore my voice more. And so I think all of those things that I'm doing to propel myself to be successful in this industry are really paying off. And you can see it at the studio. Like even the songwriting we were kind of talking about earlier, just like studying songwriters and being able to articulate my points. Think that's also, something of growth that I've experienced throughout these past 2 years. But every day we're growing. So, when we talk again on our second podcast, like, I'm going to be telling you something different because that's just the beauty of, this industry and just life, I guess.
I want to say to add on to your point because I definitely agree with you. I feel also within music, the beautiful part about music is it's timeless. So obviously you can go back and you can see where you were at a certain point in time, and then where you will be or like where you are currently. And I feel the greatest time about music is the fact that you're able to connect with your friends. Like obviously, because my next question was going to be is like, what's your inspiration to write? Like for example, like a lot of people have their own ways of like going to like a podcast, going to a music studio. So what do you have a lot of people within your studio when you're writing, or like what do you do to get yourself in that right state and mindset? And is it you have to hear the beat first? Like what do you do to ensure that you want to get the best song out there?
hmm Um, I'm a big person. of like energy and like vibes. To be honest, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't think so hard going into the studio. I really like to just go with the vibe, you know. Before a studio session, usually I'm driving to the studio on my ones, and I'll just like listen to music. You know, for me, listening to other artists gets me inspired, gets me in the zone, right? So I'll listen to some other artists and stuff, not really hearing the beats. Typically, we'll make the beats like at the studio. I'll work with my producer and like we'll actually create a beat there. But I kind of just think about how I feel, you know? If I had a great day, maybe I'll sing about being happy and like something reflecting that, you know? But if I had a shitty day, I might sing about something shitty that happened. And, you know, like I really just like to go easy on myself and not give myself so much expectation. Because I realize that if I give myself like this crazy expectation, then it's going to be very hard for me to deliver in a song. You know, it's too much pressure. Like you don't need to give yourself that much pressure when you know that you can do it. So yeah, in terms of preparation, I would say just getting myself in a good headspace, getting myself in a good vibe, you know, just like enjoying the car ride, enjoying the journey to the studio. And just going in with a very like positive attitude. Like a lot of times, you know, I'll say affirmations to myself as I'm driving. Like I'll just be like, yo, you're the best. You're an amazing songwriter. You know, you're gonna make a hit. You've already made a hit, you know, like just hyping myself up to just go to the studio and just bang out like a sick track, you know. So that's kind of the way that I write. I don't necessarily pre-write a lot of my lyrics. I definitely write on the side for practice and stuff, but I like to go in with a very fresh mind.
You spoke about inspirations. What artists inspire you, or, like past, present, or even like currently?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, for me, that changes on a regular, also based on the music that the artist drops as well. I get inspired, you know, based on kind of what this artist is dropping too. So, for example, like J. Cole, he recently dropped an album and I
Fire.
listened to the whole album. It was so good. And for me, like what I took from that album was just how amazing he is at songwriting, articulating his point, but also relating to the average person. I felt like I could relate to him in so many ways, but I don't even know J. Cole. And he's also like this mega celebrity. And I'm still, you know, getting up to that point. So it's like for me, I was just like super inspired by his lyricism. But I would say an artist that is a very standout artist to me that, you know, I would look at as definitely like a role model or a point of inspiration more so than anything is Rihanna. She's an artist that like I really vibe heavy with. And the reason why is because she doesn't really have limits. Rihanna is the type of artist that just makes music that, you know, sounds dope. She's not so stuck in a theme. She's not so like safe. You know, she really likes to experiment with her voice and her sound and her producers and her production and the structure of her music. And for me, that's really inspiring because my goal as an artist is to be a versatile artist. I don't want to be caged in. I want my fans to be my fans knowing that, oh shit, I have no idea what she's gonna drop, but it's gonna be fire. And that's the kind of artist that Rihanna is to me. I have no idea what this lady is gonna drop. I don't know if my girl's gonna go on an R&B track. I don't know if my girl's gonna go on a techno track. Like, you know what I'm saying? For all I know, this
Yeah.
girl would sing a friggin' country song and kill it. But I know that anything that I hear from Rihanna is going to be flames. And so she inspires me because that's the type of artist I want to be. I just want to make music that I love. And I feel like she really hones in on that and just does just that.
I guess like obviously as we know, you said Rihanna, right? And like you said, she does what she
Yeah,
wants when she wants, and she's not limited at this point in her career. She's proven to everyone that she's good. So now the whole world is waiting for this next album. What is she gonna do? And obviously it's been a couple of years, and she's like, "Hey, when you get the
I
album, you
know.
get the album. Stop complaining, right?"
We want the album.
Yeah, we want the album, obviously, right? My question to
Yeah.
you is, knowing that the album is eventually gonna come out, and now that she's a boss, always with her beauty line, Fenty, and everything that she's doing, if you're in the studio with Rihanna right now, working on her new album, just helping out, what would be the three questions you would ask her during the studio process or the overall
Oh
process,
my
you
gosh.
marketing and video? What would you ask Rihanna if you had the chance?
Oh my goodness, bro. You're like really putting me on the spot here.
That's what we
Frick,
do
I don't
always.
know. I'd be like, honestly, I would just be like, bro, like, take me through your songwriting process. Like, what goes on in your head? Like, I would love to just know how Rihanna writes, or if she even is super involved in her songwriting. And even if she's not, that's not even a bad thing, because even if you get someone to write a song for you, the way that you present and perform the song is still unique to you as an artist. So I would ask her how she, gets the idea to perform these songs. How do you make it your own? Like, what do you do to make it yours? Because sometimes I struggle with, you know, if like I haven't had someone at this point write me a song and I just sing it. I've been involved in every single one of my songs. I've written majority of every single one of my songs too. But one thing I think about as an artist is like, how the hell can I invoke emotion from a song that I didn't write? That I didn't take inspiration from myself, you know? Because there's so much songs that like sorry, there's so many songs where it's like, yo, damn, like I actually can relate to this, right? But as a performer, how do you make it your own? And I would really ask her that question. And then I would also ask her, I'd be like, girl, like how you so drippy? Like hook me up to your stylist. Like let's
Yeah.
go shopping. Like I just I just want to be her friend. Like I
Fun.
would just be her friend. I'd be like, yo, let's go shopping. Like you know,
No, but it's
yeah,
amazing because like when I think about Rihanna, obviously she started out like under Jay Z, and obviously they put in like the pop lane to build her up and stuff. And then once she did that, she's like, "Hey, I've already done this. I've conquered this style in this lane. I'm just gonna do me." So she started doing all these albums that were against her image or so, and then got to the point that no,
yeah,
this is who she is as a person, right? And in the beginning, people are like, "Well, you can't really sing because you're doing all like these pop tunes and everything." And she's like, "Okay, I'll show you." Then she started doing these songs where you saw her like vocal ability, right, and her range,
oh
and then
hell
she worked.
yeah,
Yeah,
she has
so
like these ballads, like she sings over like pianos, but then she also has like guitar and like heavy guitar, and I love the way that she utilizes instruments. Like that's something that I'm like, I love that, and like I want to include it in my music. You can tell she has an electric guitar just like rocking and vibing out to her tracks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like she includes so many like types of instruments and is very diverse with like the type of music she makes. And I just love that about her, because she can literally just do it all. And she's proving to like every single fan, or the audience, or people watching her, that listen, it doesn't matter that I make pop, I make R&B, I make rap, I make trap. It doesn't matter, because I can sing. I'm a damn artist, and this is what we do. And that's what I rate about her so hard.
Yeah, you have to respect that about someone who, because obviously, when you enter like music, I feel like has a lot of people talking trash about certain artists because one, just because they're propelling in a certain way, they're doing well in a certain way. People will say, "Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that." And obviously, like Rihanna, as you guys said, like people would always like tell her she can't do something. She kind of proved them wrong. So, what do you do to prove, I guess, the people wrong, like, or even like yourself right? Like when you're making music, you're like you hear like obviously there can be people backbiting and talking. So, what do you do? With that being said, obviously we talk about Rihanna, but what's your steps in terms of like doing the same thing?
To be honest, like I would just say I don't live my life to prove shit to anyone. And I think
I
that's
like
what
that.
I do. Yeah, like I just do me. I just make what I want. And obviously I think about my fans and my audience, but my audience loves my music for what it is. Like they like my music because I make it. Like, clearly I'm doing something right here if people are still listening to my shit, and not everyone is going to resonate with you as an artist. And I think that's also like a very important fact to like be okay with. It's okay if like people don't like my music. It's fine. It doesn't hurt me. Like, I'm not making music for every single person, although I would love every single person to really, relate to my music and feel empowered when they listen to my music. But the reality is that everyone has different preferences, right? I think the biggest thing is that for me, like I just want to do what's true to myself. I just want to be expressive to myself and like to what makes me, happy. And I think in turn, having that good energy and that good vibe, it radiates across like the world and people see that, you know? So yeah, to answer your question, like that's kind of I just kind of do me. Like
I honestly love how you said that because I feel as a creator, in a sense, you have to not worry about what people say. I feel like a lot of like I've met certain creators of like obviously like, even friends of mine who certain comments get to them. I like how like you're so strong, you're confident within yourself that no matter what someone says, it's almost like they're pushing you to even be better. Because I feel like the haters, like people who like hate on me more on our podcast, like oh this is trash, this guest is this or whatever. I'm like, all right, bro, it's like you're only saying that because you have insecurity. Well, you know the ones if you I think people want to project insecurities within themselves. The only difference I feel with music is you're able to like express yourself in a way that no one else can. Like on a podcast, you can obviously say whatever you want, but I think with music, it's like you're personal. You're being vulnerable. You're being personable. And if you ever do feel a certain way, as you said, you're able to express that and like show the world your talents and like how you feel. And a lot of people will definitely feel like your fans definitely like do understand that. Even me, like now I'm a fan, like listening to your music like songs like Unforgettable, Toxic Love, Not the One, which is one of my favorite songs. I like just listening, I'm able to like take in the lyrics and see where you're coming from.
yeah. No, absolutely, absolutely. I think like, in everything that we do, there's always going to be people that don't agree with you or that are going to hate on you, and I think that's just like life. You can't literally sit there and please everyone, and once, you are comfortable with that, like you kind of just move forward, right? Like you can't let people or things hold you back. Otherwise, like what are you living for, right? Like you got to live for your own inner peace and like your own self and your own purpose. Like I'm not alive to like live your life and you're not alive to live mine. So you do you and I do me, and like that's it. As long as you're not disrespecting other people and you keep it, respectful, and you're moving, humble, and that's it. Like no bad blood.
Facts.
How it should be, you know. I
Yeah.
would say
Factual.
with a lot of artists before COVID, people were doing shows, touring, and concerts, and right. So I know you're also doing concerts as well. And then with COVID, everything got affected. Everything became slow. But now with everything
Yeah.
slowly reopening, are you excited to go back and do shows for your fans and have like a more intimate
Yeah.
concert? Like, what are you thinking about as far as going out there and doing shows?
Oh hell yeah. Guys, I am so excited. I really miss performing. I really do, I really miss performing. I miss being able to like interact with fans, and I miss being able to like just sing like in person and just enjoy that moment. Actually, I have a performance coming up on July 8th. With it's with the Rose Theater with the city of Brampton. I'm not sure if you
Okay.
guys know the Rose Theater. Yeah, and it's curated by this company called Off the Record. And yeah, I'll be performing July 8th, and like it's my first time performing in like a year and a half maybe. Like I performed last February, like 20, what are we in 2021? Like I think 2020 February is when I performed. So it's been like a
Whoa.
minute since I've
Yeah.
performed. Yeah, and
You
I'm
must be
excited
really
because
excited.
actually, oh yeah, I'm so excited. And like the cool part about this performance is I'll be performing with a live band. Like a full live band. I have like a
That's
bass, a
it.
guitarist, a drummer, a
That's dope.
piano. So like yeah, and like every single person like, that's part of the band are they're so talented and they're so passionate about, what they like to do. So I'm really excited to kind of go back out and explore this. And during like quarantine and during COVID and stuff, I've really trying to take steps and shit to like help me as a performer as well. And like I mentioned I think earlier, I'm taking vocal lessons currently, and that's really helped I think secure my confidence as well, because I'm not gonna lie guys, like low key sometimes I do have stage fright. Like I'm a human, right? People go through this shit. And I think like working with those around you to kind of help elevate you and build that confidence is so important. And like I've been working on that a lot during this like downtime that we've all had. So I can't wait to perform and just get this shit popping again.
I'm excited. Be dope. It'd be fun to find. I can only imagine as an artist how amazing it's going to be going back on stage and like allowing your fans to
Yeah,
hear your music finally.
yeah, for real.
Have you had that like engagement, that fan who might have said something in person or via DM that just like shocked you? Like, oh my god, like I'm saying you're a
Wallah, was
fan.
be my next question, bro. Oh my
I didn't
goodness.
expect you to say this. Hey, that's our job, you know. Gotta.
Yeah, wallah, it's freaking me
Yeah.
out that because I was gonna ask that.
You said something I
Yeah.
wanted to say also.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. I told telepathy. Telepathy.
Factual.
um. Yeah. Actually, something kind of like inspired me recently from my I would say from a fan. And it was really nice actually. So it was a girl, and she actually really loves music, and she never pursued music, and she messaged me and she was just like, you know, and she's a brown girl too, and she was just like, it's really inspiring to see like another brown girl. Like I'm Pakistani. You don't really see a lot of Pakistani girls like or South Asian girls like to say the least like in this game. It's
Yeah,
not that common. And she was just like, yo, like I'm like mad inspired by you. Like I've been wanting to get into the music industry, and like I've always felt like I didn't know how or that I couldn't, or like my visible minority is putting a strain on me and blah blah. And she's like, but seeing you, in this, pursuing this, and just being consistent with it is really inspiring for me. And to be honest, that was inspiring for me because I was like, girl, you don't even know like that. You inspired me. Like I inspired you, And I think for me that was so big because you know as a South Asian girl, as a Pakistani girl, as a Muslim girl, like I'm very apparent about who I am. I'm not secretive or closeted about who I am. And I think it's so important to show those around you that you can literally do anything you want to do. And you shouldn't let little things like this ever stop you from pursuing your passion or pursuing your dream or going hard or even just trying, like just to try. And I think that was a really standout moment for me because it made me feel like what I'm doing is like is satisfying. Like I was so satisfied with just like this situation because this is what I want. I want to show young girls, young South Asian girls too, just young girls that you can literally just do anything you want. Like you don't need anyone to stop you. You're the only person in your way. So seeing that like she was inspired by me pursuing music, making her want to pursue music, I was just like, damn, I feel like I'm doing my job right. Like, that was a definitely a standout moment for me.
I have a follow up question to that.
Yeah.
Obviously your music is like really personal, like, and obviously it's like it makes you feel a certain way. Have you ever had fans message you saying, "Hey, because of your music, like I feel a lot better now. Like I'm in a better place." Even doing for music for 2 years, obviously
Yeah.
like fan engagement is really important. So have you ever had those people that come up to you because of your music? I felt a certain way, or like my relationship is a lot better now. So have you had those experiences?
Yeah, actually, like maybe a month ago, I was on TikTok and someone commented on my post, and they were just like, "Yo, like your music has helped me so much," and I was like, "Oh my God!" Like I wanted to cry. I was like, "Wait, stop!" Like
that's real.
I just
Real.
it
It's
it was
real though.
real, and it was just like I was just I think I was just like shocked because I'm like, holy shit, my whole life, for me, music has been the backbone of my life. I've been through so much in my life, and every time I've been through situations, I've always used music as like a healing mechanism or just a way to cope, right? And to see someone using my music that I made as a way for them to just, cope in situations in their life or deal with things, I was just like, wow. Like, I was very proud and I was just like really just like holy crap, like this means so much more to me than like they even realize. Like it made me want to go harder. Like it made me literally want to go to the studio and just go 20 times harder than I did because I was
It's
just like
yeah.
I got to do it for you. Like shit.
It's definitely an amazing feeling. I feel like as a creator, like for me at least, the way I think is like I'm doing it for the people who are watching me because obviously it's an opportunity to do what we do because not everybody has the guts or
Yeah.
has the, I guess, whatever it may be to do like what is it
Even like the
become an
resources or the
exactly
opportunity to do the things, right?
right. And I feel like when you have those fan engagement, people have messages like you changed my life, like just that comment alone because no one's gonna comment that randomly. So for someone to go
Yeah.
comment that and on a post and make it public for you to see for the whole world to see, this makes you feel like wow, because of my music, you feel a certain way. and that's amazing because like it definitely want, as you say, it wants to push you harder. It wants you
Yeah.
to go back in the studio and like make another banger and
Yeah.
change the world.
Yeah, 100%. And makes me more like thoughtful of like my lyrics and like the message that I want to deliver. Because I'm like, damn, like someone really is watching and like taking like notes on this. Like they're really getting inspired by my shit. So I can't make no mediocre shit, bro. I gotta go hard. Like,
Growing up, like, were you ever part of like school choir? Did you do like a recital, or like did you join like like back then like they have like the community centers and stuff to have like events and people come with and show like their talents and stuff. Did you ever join that growing up?
yeah, so I actually grew up in Malton. That's actually my home. And basically I went to Morningstar Middle School. Not sure if y'all are familiar with that, but
I know
shout
Malton.
out to Morningstar. Okay,
I know.
shut up. M block. Okay, yeah, anyways, but friggin' I was actually part of the school choir. I was actually the lead singer in my school choir. Um
Really?
so yeah, so I'll tell you a quick story about how that happened. I've always been singing. My friends know this. Everywhere I go, I sing. Right? I'm just that person. Um, and my friend, she actually was like, "Okay, so you're gonna audition for the school choir, right?" And I'm like, "No," because I was shy. I was really shy. I was like, "Hell no, are you kidding me? I'm just gonna friggin' keep my talent to myself. I don't need this shit." So,
Yeah.
anyways, she was like, "Yeah, okay." Anyways, so she adds my name in pen, so I couldn't erase it, and she personally takes me to the audition, stands in line with me, and she's like, "All right, go." So I was like, "Shit, like I can't really get out of this." So, anyways, I go. I start singing, and my music teacher was just like, "Yo, what? Like you could sing like that?" And I was like, "I guess so." I'm like, "Yeah, I can, but I didn't want to show you." So, anyways, she really liked it, and she was like, "I want you to be the lead singer in our school choir." And I was like, "Okay, like sure." So, from then, I think, my confidence kind of propelled, right? Because I was now putting myself in front of the whole school at like the school assemblies and singing whenever the choir would have, a performance, right? And then I actually really like acting. For me, I think I'm a creative all around. Like I love acting as well. And so I was the lead actress in my school play in grade
That's
8. You know, yeah, I had to memorize like freaking 300 pages of like lines. Like it was crazy. Um, so that was something like really big as well. And then my music teacher, she wanted me to audition for like this citywide choir. I actually don't even know what happened with that. I don't even know why I didn't go. I feel like I personally was like, yo, okay, like I'm gonna go to the audition, but I don't know if I really want to do this.
yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I held myself back in a lot of situations when I was younger because I didn't really realize like the potential of like where this could go. Like I always knew I wanted to be a singer from like the day I was young. Like I knew that I wanted to be a singer, but I kind of just didn't like um I would say capitalize on some opportunities because I was so young and I didn't think that this would be like a favorable career for me, and I also didn't know if like my family would be like down for me to like
Of course.
tap into this, right? I'm
Yeah.
brown, like everyone, I think a lot of like our families, like they kind of like value education super super high,
One
and they're
hundred
kind of like,
percent.
you got it, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
sure we can all relate to that. So they were kind of like, yeah, you need to get educated, girlfriend, like you need
You,
to chill.
I
So
remember one time I was actually having a conversation because I kind of what you said has captivated me. I was having a conversation with my family and I told them like, "Yo, wouldn't it be sick if like someone aside from becoming a doctor or a lawyer, which I feel like are getting your master's degree? Because at my point, I feel like everybody's getting that, but less people are going to the
yeah,
music industry, less people are going to acting. And a lot of people aren't like have the voice to inspire because sometimes like you could look at certain people, you're like, if you actually pursue this, you can actually like do big things with it. Like when someone's
yeah,
creative, sometimes people don't know it themselves. So I feel like the biggest thing is like for my parents when they say, "Why are you always recording?" I'm like, "Well, do you not know we're in like 20 plus countries? Let me do my thing. I know what I'm doing." Trust me. And I'm like, I got my degree for you. Now I don't even use it. I honestly lost my degree.
yeah.
Like, I wish I can go back to school and sell it back for the money that I wasted. I'm like, just give me back. I
All
have the
right.
knowledge now. Just take it
Yeah.
back. But what's your advice for people then who are scared to enter like or become a creator? Like their parents are obviously telling them, "Oh, go to school," and they don't want to. So what advice would
Yeah.
you give them?
Well, I have to say, like, even though my parents were like pro education and like you got to get educated, they were still really supportive of me pursuing music on the side. Like when I was in grade 9 and grade 7 and grade 8, I used to make YouTube videos like and post them on like YouTube of like me doing covers and stuff, you know? I'm never going to share my profile because it's so embarrassing, but
We'll
I'm
It's
find it.
still
sure
Don't
up.
one
worry.
day
We'll find it. We're
I
gonna
am
find it.
We'll find
yeah,
it. We'll
I am
find it.
sure one day someone will find it and then it'll like be viral and I'll be like, "Oh god, like I don't want to." But yeah, like so they kind of let me do that, you know, and I had to make a deal with them straight up. I was like, "Listen, I will get you the marks that you need. Please let me make a YouTube channel." And after like a little bit of convincing, my mom was like, "Okay, fine. If you get good marks, I will let you make a YouTube channel and you can post your content there." And I was like, "Say less, mother."
That's fair.
So for those, you know, and for those who are kind of struggling of maybe finding their voice with their family, I think the biggest thing is just being open. You know, for me, like I was just really open with my mom and with my family, and I told them, I'm like, guys, listen, like this is something that I love to do. Like I want to do this, and I think I can really be very successful, but I need support. You know, like I'll go and I'll get an education, but after I get my education, let me try this because life is kind of like a one-time shot. Like I'm not going to be able to live twice. At least I personally don't believe that. So for me, like I want to be able to, you know, at least try what I've been thinking of my whole life. And if it doesn't work out, then that just wasn't meant for me. But
Yeah.
man, like I believe that like, you know, you gotta really seize every opportunity in your life. And they agree. So I think, you know, for my youngsters that are listening to this or for anyone who's listening to this that is finding a struggle with their families to kind of, you know, let them know that hey, I'm a creative or hey, I want to pursue something. You got to make a case for yourself too, but you got to show them that you're passionate. And I think passion triumphs all. If you show the people around you that this is serious, like you're not just doing this for a game, this is serious shit. You're going to make money off this. This is your life, this is your livelihood. I think people start to take you more seriously. And if they don't, then you got to prove them. You got to show them, like, yo, this is what's up. You guys have been at this for 3 years. Like, I'm sure now your families are kind of like, okay, no, this is like their thing. Like they're serious about this shit. Same thing, right? So sometimes you got to prove yourself to your family. It sucks, but you got to for them to take you seriously.
That's a beautiful answer. Like, yeah, passion triumphs all. That's literally it. That's the key. That's literally the
Yeah.
mindset. Passion triumphs all. And through that,
Yeah.
other people will see that what you're passionate about, they're able to take
Well,
it
it's
serious, right? And realize the value that you have for it because you are putting the work, regardless how they feel at the
Hell
time.
yeah.
Because through time and motion, and once you do put in that work, and when other people see that you are good at what you're doing, the people that are close to you might have a different opinion. They will come back to you and be like, you know what? Not only am I sorry, but you were right, and I'm so happy for you, and I'm here going forward. So that's
There you
passion.
go. Yep.
I like that. Just to add on to what you guys just said, because I'm taking everything in. My only advice. Sorry, what'd you say?
You know, on TikTok right now.
Okay, first of all, I can't be on TikTok if I'm recording a podcast.
I
Secondly,
see you looking in the
yeah, because I'm just looking at just like bro, just looking at the articles that like you read. I'm just like reading about all the
I'm
articles
looking
that
at
you
your
were
house
on.
right now, bro. I know you.
Mo, look, you're not gonna do
Damn,
anything, bro.
Mo, you're baiting out this guy hard.
He lives, guys. Look, he lives 5 minutes away from me. We're not gonna mention the city because you know our city is a joke. However, come through, bro.
Our city gets
I'll
enough
fight.
love, kinda.
Our city does not get enough love on Six Buzz. I'll just say that. But
Well,
I just
Bro, I know what city you're from.
say it.
from the hard ends of Hamilton, East End,
Brampton.
East
No,
End.
Oh,
it's
oh,
actually it's actually not Brampton.
oh
No,
shit, it's Hamilton.
no, I was
Is it
joking.
Hamilton?
It's
No, no, no,
Oakville.
no.
Oakville.
From Oakville.
It's Oak.
Oakville.
Oh, what the
Because
hell? No one really gives a shit about Oakville. No offense.
exactly.
But like, you guys are not shitted on. Like, people don't shit on Oakville. It's
Yeah,
just no
not
one really
really. It's
talks
usually
about
like in a
You
funny
Oakville.
know,
way.
Like,
when I actually, I guess this is now for all my non our non-Canadian, I guess viewers, which is a lot of them. Oakville's a city outside of Toronto, and I remember one time I was working in Toronto for Google, and my reps, I was training them, and they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" I'm like, "Oakville." Like, "Yeah, you mean Jokeville?" I'm like, "What the f?" I'm like,
Yeah, a lot of people call it
"Relax, relax yourself." They're like,
Cokeville.
"Oh, you're probably soft. Oakville mans don't know how to fight." I'm like,
bro, they're throwing shots at you, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro,
People
relax.
people call me Jokeville also. A lot of people say Jokeville as
Oh
well.
my
But I
I've
guess with our
never heard
platform,
that.
we'll change it.
Shit.
We'll change it. That's our job, you know.
But
So
I guess to everybody listening, just to go back to what you guys were saying, yeah, I believe inspiration is really cool. Like I get inspired by others, like I get inspired by conversations, and I believe if you are in that predicament where you do want to do something great, I guess just and even if your parent, like sometimes I feel like you don't have to tell your parents. Like if you feel like your parents are gonna say, definitely say no,
Mm,
do it secretly, get the marks that
100%.
you need, and then go from there. Because I feel like at the end of the day, as a creator, like there's a lot of
Yeah.
people who just you look at them, you're like, bro, start creating. Like you're too good
Yes.
not to create. And
Yes.
because I feel like, and and going back to education, a lot of people there's a huge differentiation between education and school. Because you said earlier, I think off podcast, you're like you started learning like the producing side, like the songwriting side, even just like the
Mhm.
engineering side. You start like all education. You're teaching yourself because then it's like by the time you know how to do it all yourself, it's like you don't have to waste so much money on resources. Even with
Mhm.
me and Mo, when we started like doing a podcast 3 years ago, like we taught ourselves photography, videography, like audio editing. So I feel that's all education. Like that just makes you much more powerful as an individual because now it's like, yeah, you do your stuff, but now people will hit you up. It's like, yo, can you like help me with this? Can you help me with that? Can you do this for me?
Yep.
So I feel like always learn a skill. And even if you don't, if you still feel nerve wracking, my advice is just learn a skill and like elevate yourself because
A
through
hundred
that,
percent.
yeah,
And also just to like touch on what you said as well, like sometimes you don't actually have to tell your parents. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to advise anyone in the wrong here, but sometimes you have to
or the
go against the
astronaut.
grain. Yeah, no, but sometimes you have to go against the grain. You know, I feel like, there are people that don't have the support of them around in their circle. And you know
yeah,
what? Like you don't need validation from anyone but yourself. And I think that's something that like is really important too. Yes, your parent might not be supporting or your aunt or your sister or whatever is not supporting you, but at the end of the day, like, are you doing this for them or are you doing this for yourself? And that's a very important question that you have to ask. It's a cliche, but it's a question that you have to ask yourself because realistically, even if no one really supported me doing music, I would still do music because I like it. It makes me happy. It's my passion. It's not their passion. Like they're not gonna live my life. I'm living my life. So I think we have to consider that too when like making these decisions. Like sometimes you have to go against the grain and you don't have to be rude about it. You don't have to be disrespectful. But if this is what you love, then you should do what you love, you know?
agreed. And for all everybody listening, take that and write notes down because this conversation was not only inspiring, it's amazing. I learned a lot. And yeah, see, I'm a nice person. I'm like Mo, bro, dissing on our own podcast. This guy, bro. But
Either way, like she said, like so
yeah,
much
yeah, yeah,
nuggets.
buddy, relax.
We're trying to give the flowers, bro.
Anyways, yeah, go on.
You guys are sweet.
Thank you so much for coming on today's episode. We really appreciate it. We do not take it for granted. You said so much things, so much points, so much wisdom that helps not only us as creators, but people want to become musicians, artists, anything they want to do. What you said gives everyone clarity. And I like you said, passion triumphs all. That's something that we should definitely think about going forward. It's something we should add to our
Oh yeah.
repertoire. And the fact that you are living that, thank you so much for being the embodiment of that such a beautiful quote. Passion triumphs all. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. Like I think it's so important for, everyone to hear that. Sometimes you need a little bit of a reminder like, hey, you're on the right track. Like you're doing it, just keep doing it. One thing I know for certain is that hard work always pays off. It really does.
Yeah, it
You got
does.
to put it in. You got to give it 100. You have to. And trust me, like you will always see the results. Even if you don't see it instantly, it'll all pay off. And I think that's something that, for you listening, guys, like you have to remember your hard work will pay off. So just keep going.
Agreed. And before we let you go, because we'd love to have you
Mhm.
back next time, where can
Yeah.
they follow you again? Everybody who's
Yeah,
listening.
so if you guys are on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, you can follow me at Rated Ameerah. So that's Rated Ameerah, Ameerah. hit me up. Follow me on Spotify. I just released a track. I have a music video coming up at the end of the month. It's my first debut music video. So, like we
That's
gonna have some
amazing.
popcorn for that.
Can't wait to
But
see it.
thank you guys so much for having me, man. It's been great chatting with you.
Thank you
I'm
so.
actually thank you so much for coming on.
Absolutely.
And I guess with that, thank you everyone once again. If you want to listen to us, make sure to follow us at Waste 2.0 on Instagram. If you want to follow Osama, follow him at Kusa300. Myself at Muhammad.global. New episodes every Wednesday. Listen to us Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Anchor, and other various platforms. Thank you so much for the love, support, and we wish success to Ameerah and everything she does going forward. And Ways family, we're all
Thank
behind her.
you.
Thank
Make sure to follow her Waste family.
Woohoo! Yes, Waves family.
you.
um,
All right, I'm gonna stop it now. Don't worry.